Howdy, Possum Patty here. Yes, right here where you left me yesterday, and I am going to finish the page for Edgar Allan Poe in my haunted house journal. I know it's not October, but it is okay, so come on along. All I did so far was cut up this gray piece of paper into 3 sections like that, and this section will fit here as the background, so I'm going to glue that down, and then this section will get put away and this section I'm thinking about cutting out that crow right there and putting it on the page, but I want to use that strip. Well, I have Edgar's picture here, and I have this strip with a dippy pen. Remember, I was talking about taking my dippy pen. I got out my Noodler's ink, and I was going to write a quote from Edgar Allan on this page. It's not going to be a very long quote. I'm going to try a short quote, yeah. Something down here. But I was wondering if I could add something in the corner, another element to the page. Oh, there's a bug down there too. Oh, let me get out that pack and see if there's another crow. Here's a crow. I think this crow would be a great size to put on this page. Do I want the skull there? Maybe I do. I was thinking about ripping it, but there might be too many details there for me to rip around. So that is the same page that I already have over here. And I just noticed at the bottom of the page, there's another dippy pen. I didn't even notice that before. That's going to go on another page for sure. So I think I'll just cut this like a die cut and leave the skull there. I might go in a little closer in a minute, but right now I'm just... Oh, should I leave that black line? Do we want the black line? No, we don't want the black line. Where's the little scissors? I'm going to bring this in a little closer. Oops, too close. I always do that. I always want to go in a little closer and I get too close. Alright, this is the book that's hard to get under the camera because it's kind of large. So I'm going to glue this down like that. And I'm going to put that in the corner. And I'm going to glue this over here because I wanted the green to go along with the green and gold on this side. This reminds me of the museum we went to yesterday. These skeletons and snakes in a cage. Journaling on that coming up very soon. And then Edgar. Keep losing Edgar. Here he is. He's going to go up here a little bit crookedy like that. Okay, I'm going to get all this glued down, and then I will get out my ink and my dippy pen, and we'll have a play at doing a quote. This will not be calligraphy. Warning ahead of time. Disclaimer, I do not know how to do calligraphy, but I thought I would just try and write sort of like this Edgar A. Poe, you know, just kind of cursive, you know, with the pen and see what happens. I got to find a short quote. A short quote. You know, I have to do one more thing before I glue everything down. Because this is similar in color, I was thinking about distressing that. Yeah, so it shows up a little more. So I'm just going to mess this up a little bit. I'm actually going to cut the top off. I don't know, should I put a little tiny bit on here? Not a lot, just a little. I know some people distress everything. I don't distress everything, but I do distress some things. I think I'll do this before I glue it down. Now this is a medicine bottle ink dauber that Dolores J. Rush made. I know you can buy Tim Holtz ones and different ones, but she gifted me a couple of these and I've been using them and they work just fine. I got the background, the trim, and Egger glued down, and I just glued down the crow, and I just pulled them off because I got an idea. When I put down the paper that I'm going to write the quote on, I might want to put this a little bit over the edge. So it's still wet with glue. Hope I don't lose it. I'll put it right there. And I found a little quote that we can practice. All that we see and seem is but a dream within a dream. It is the Baltimore Oriole o'clock. And I pulled out a couple pieces of paper. I have this vellum. I thought I might want to try a little bit of vellum. If you notice on this card, they kind of put a reddish, peachy, inky smear in the background, which is a lot different than this page. Even though it's the same picture, this is all gray. And this has some color in the background. So I thought these vellums with that little bit of pinky, peachy, red, inky smear in the background might work on this page. I'm going to rip myself a piece of this vellum. Something that'll fit in here, and then the crow will go down here like that. And I'm not going to start writing on this. No, I'll do that after. I'm going to use a little piece to practice on. Let me clear the table a little bit. That means throw everything on the floor. I'm just about ready to play here. I've got some regular copy paper, watercolor paper, vellum, and cicada wing paper to play on. I've got this black ink by Noodlers, and it is called Bulletproof, and it's a little water resistant. And I haven't done this forever, so we shall see how it goes. And I'm just going to do some cursive, I guess. All that we see, all that we see and seem is but a dream within a dream. If you press too hard, you get that little double look right there. You write slower, you get a smoother line. Something's a little lumpy under there. Edgar Allan Poe. Or we could do all curvy letters. All like this. That. We. But a. We could get real fancy. All right, a little practice there. Let's try it on the vellum because that might be my choice. Oh, this makes a wonderful scratchy noise. Well, it comes out pretty good on the vellum. All right, let's try the cicada wing, which is like a distressed coffee dyed tissue. I got this at Temu. I think if you press too hard, it's going to catch on the tissue. Yeah, this might be harder to deal with. It's possible, oh, you know, maybe if you tape a piece down, oh, I stuck my finger in there so that it doesn't bunch up. Yeah, it kind of snags on the tissue a little bit. Okay, it's a good experiment, good experiment. Comes out really nice on the vellum, but I can see it's going to take a while to dry. So I'll need it to dry thoroughly before I glue it down. So here goes the first try. I say the first try because you never know, right? Okay, now besides having glue all over my fingers, I'll have ink. All right, here we go. Okay, new discovery. On this vellum, one side it beads up too much, but the other side is just fine. And I started this on the side where it beads up too much. So I tried to smooth it off. It's still there. But you know what? Let's go with it and see what happens. I was thinking about splashing it with ink anyway. See, one side is beautiful, and the other side it beads up. All that we see and see is...
Oops!
Stop the cameras. I can't believe I did this. I filmed the whole entire process to the very end and said goodbye. And then I went to close the journal and I noticed that I left out part of the quote. And then I came back and I squashed it in there. All that we see and seem is but a dream within a dream. And I picked up the little head of the crow because I thought maybe, now I'm ripping the paper down here. See, I'm making a bigger mess. Should I pull it up? Should I make a big mess? Should I leave it? Oh my goodness, it's just ripping the whole thing. Would you just leave it like that? Is that acceptable to you? Would you fuss with it? Would you rip it all up? Survey, please. What would you do? Are you a perfectionist? Would that bother you? Would you just cover it up? Would you try to take it off? Oh, and I loved it so much too. Then I wrecked it. Yes. Yes, I did. And then I wrecked it. So now this video is going to be all about making mistakes. Yes. You know, you always see people make things and like, oh, that's so beautiful. Do they ever make a mistake? Everything they do turns out gorgeous. Well, maybe they just don't show you the ones that don't turn out gorgeous. Right? I am really making a mess out of this. Yes, I am. Well, that sort of all came off. That's sort of. Okay, a little bit more here. Oh my my stars. If I hadn't caught that, I know somebody would have pointed it out to me and say, Possum Patty, you didn't get the whole quote on there, did you? I'm like, oops, 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 oops. I don't know how to rip this so that it's going to fit right. But how do you rip it? Oh, I know. You make a template. Hold on. Stand by. I just happen to have some wax paper on the table, which will work as tracing paper for right now. So I'm going to need a piece about like that. This is crazy. I should have just left it. I wrote in the 2 words. It was absolutely fine. Usually when you try to fix something, you wind up making a bigger mess than when you started. So I was talking about my cabinet of curiosities that's over in the corner of the room. I've got some nature items in there. Bones and skulls and shells and what do I have in there? Rocks, starfish, a bunch of different things. I don't have any brains. I don't have any brains or bats in there. Okay. Let's see. A dream is within a dream. All right, where's my quote? Okay. Ah, dear. Okay. Roll up my sleeves and we'll try this again. And we'll just keep doing it till I get it right. Things like this don't bother me. Making mistakes, no problem. Leave them, fix them, whatever makes you happy. You do you. I should have left it. I ripped the whole thing off. That's okay. I can laugh at myself. I do dumb things all the time. Yes, warning, I do dumb things. But it is no big deal. This is just junk journaling. So if you want to fix it, go ahead and try and fix it. Either it's going to come out or it's not going to come out. Where's my little pin? Okay. Grumpy Possum says, things always get better unless they get worse. Yeah, and it got worse. But that's okay. We'll just keep at it. And I'm going to try this over again. And that's why I practiced the quote so it would be in my head. And I left out those words. But all that we see. This paper has a little bit of a texture to it, and the pen is snagging on it a little bit. All that we see, and okay, now it is the morning dove o'clock. It's but a dream. I've got this big space here, and that's where I put the blob on the other one. I put an ink blot. All right, what does an ink spatter look like? Okay. So I'm looking on my phone over here. If I can get something that looks like an ink splatter going. It kind of got little lines coming out. Those look a little too perfect. This may be the funnest part. Right, let me check the quote. All that we see and seem is but a dream within a dream. Okay. Edgar Allan Poe. Okay. I didn't want to get carried away with the ink splot and not finish that up. And make a bigger ink spot. Okay, I'm getting carried away. Stop. Before the ink blot becomes bigger than the page. All right, I'm going to wipe my pen off. Close the ink so I don't spill it. Put those aside. Now we have to wait for this to dry. Oh my goodness gracious. That's what my mom used to say. Oh my goodness gracious. And that's going to go right in there. Just like that. Oh, his bird's head's in the way. That's okay. Yes, perfect. Perfect. Just like that. To the rescue. I can't do anything until that ink dries because I'll just smear all that ink there. This is not dry yet, no. But this is what it's going to look like. And I do love this spread. Yes. Edgar Allan Poe, and I got the crow, and I got the quote. Finally, right? Yeah. Warning, I do dub things. And if you'd like to, tell us a little bit about your mistake experiences, in the comments below. Are you a perfectionist? Do you have to get things exactly right? Or if it's close enough, that's good enough. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I do things that aren't exactly right. And to me, it's fine. And I don't bother with it. And then other times I'm like, I have to fix that. But maybe because this was a quote and I wanted it to read correctly, being a retired school teacher, right? I wanted it to read correctly. Yeah, I mean, I wish it had worked out on the vellum, but, I'm not upset. These things don't bother me, no. I just have to laugh at myself. Well, I know this was a shorter sesh today. Yeah, we were out again all day. It's like every day. I don't have time to journal about all the things that we do because we're always out doing things lately. Yeah, but so if you're interested in my cabinet of curiosities, it's like behind the camera over there. If you want to stick around after, I say goodbye, I'll show you a few things that I have in the cabinet. So, well, thanks for coming along today. And I want to wish you a happy junk journaling. Bye-bye. When in doubt, play dead. Life advice from an unexpected source. Chasing others' approval is exhausting because others can and will change what they approve of. Approve of yourself and you'll feel a lot more secure. The cabinet of curiosities is in the corner. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but we'll just take a peek at a few things in here. So on the top shelf, you can see there's a lot of skulls. Now, a lot of these skulls are just models that I used in environmental education, but there are a couple of real ones. That one's real, and the deer in the back is real, and the piece of turtle shell is real. And this is a deer bone that was found in the woods, and the mice and rodents have been gnawing on it. I guess they gnaw on the bones for nutrition. There's some little bones there. And a giant pine cone. And rock samples there. And some twisty vines in the background. And some creatures from the sea, starfish and sand dollars and sponges and corals. And a dried pufferfish and some serpentine rock from New Jersey, and a nest with a little egg in it, and some dried leaves on top there. And down here we have a lot of shells. And on the bottom, oh, this is just some of the cases of my rocks that I need to organize, my friendship rocks and things like that. Yeah, just all different nature curiosities.